What is up, XRP community? Welcome back to another video, and thank you for joining me. I want to talk about the plan Ripple has been hiding from us for some time, and why Ripple is much bigger than cross-border payments. A few general stories, and an update on the Ripple stablecoin. The issuer account just submitted its first transaction since it was activated 10 days ago. It authorized deposits from an account we have identified yesterday as a potential distribution account for Ripple USD on the XRP ledger. Tether is by far the largest stablecoin in crypto. Nothing comes close to it. And if you do your research, there's a lot of shady stuff about Tether. Not to spread FUD, but it's just a fact. The banks they bank with, the assets backing up the $90 billion market cap. And in the future, I believe this Ripple USD stablecoin, because of the clarity and legitimacy around Ripple, will claim a large share of the crypto market. And just in, Bank of America added as a Ripple partner on Ripple's website, as you can see right here. Bank of America is just no ordinary bank. Ask yourself, Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's investment fund. The largest company they hold is Apple. The second largest company they hold is Bank of America. And in the top 30 holdings, there's no other bank. So ask yourself, what value does Warren Buffett specifically see in this one bank, Bank of America? And why are they partnering with Ripple? And Ripple now is working with every continent to embrace crypto adoption. You see here, this chart, it shows all of the large banks in every continent across the world that are using Ripple and the XRP ledger. Not many cryptocurrencies can say something like that. People from different circles, they're all talking about the same thing. Truth is converging and the perfect storm is imminent. The system is done and we are pivoting from the old swift and in with the new. And I believe XRP will play a pivotal role in this future. In regards to the storm, we have made it and came through to the other side. The XRP community went through the storm first. We had an illegitimate lawsuit, and we won at every turn. And now that XRP is free, price action won't be suppressed because we have clarity. XRP liquidity is back, and there's a huge narrative of real-world asset tokenization. And that's why I believe XRP's price could get pushed to high double digits, potentially $100 plus this next bull round. It's unlikely, but I will tell you why I believe it has this potential. And now for this clip from Jim Willie.
Wasn't planning on talking about XRP, but this is really relevant. Ripple Tech, which is the developing corporation for XRP, they've won every single frivolous lawsuit that the SEC has put through. And it's really quite funny, because 2 cases ago, they determined as a ruling by the court that XRP is not a security. So it means it's not a stock and not a bond.
Right.
And the most recent case, the conclusion was it's not a currency either. It's not a stock, it's not a bond, it's not a currency, it's something else. Well, it's a value transfer vehicle. And that means it's probably going to be used at the highest level, country to country, in trade settlement. That's what I expect. And it's working its way up the...
So we're actually embarking on some exciting times. The old system's dying. We're going into the new system. You're very optimistic about this. And what we're watching with Kamala and Tim Walz and the whole financial system is the dead cat bounce, or the dead cat roll. It's done.
Well, you could call it a dead... I wouldn't call it a dead cat bounce. I would call it going through the storm, and Trump calls it the storm. Okay. When you're in a storm, like you're at a baseball game, and oh my gosh, it's getting rained out, we got to get home. Oh my, I don't have a ride. I got to run home. You run through the storm, you get really wet, you get home, and you dry off.
Right.
You're not sick.
XRP has made it through that storm, one of the only cryptocurrencies to face that kind of regulation and still come out successful. And now for this clip from Black Swan Capitalist, talking about a unique perspective on XRP's roles within the BRICS nation to corner the central banks into a new currency.
XRP is going to be like an alternative gold solution. I believe the United States is going to go dragging, kicking, screaming, and killing. And they're not going to want the BRICS gold token, but they're going to accept the XRP. And they're going to tell the U.S. citizens that it's not gold backed, and they will lie. That's how XRP is going to be used. European nations will use it as a compromise. The United States might use it as a compromise. And wherever it gets used, you guys, it's not going to go away. It's going to grow and not go backwards. That's how it goes to $100, $200, and maybe.
It's going to grow and it's not going to go backwards. And I just showed you all 7 continents have big institutions already implementing XRP's use case. And I believe XRP as the dollar currency situation gets worse and worse. XRP could be used during these currency revolutions to provide a lot of values to these banks and countries. And look at the price of gold. For the first time in history, it has broken $2,500. What do you think that says about the underlying economy when the price of precious metals is hitting all-time highs? I believe XRP will have a future where it enables a gold-backed token, a gold-backed currency. It doesn't mean a gold-backed XRP, but when you see this right here, Ripple's allocating $10 million to tokenize US Treasury bills on the XRP ledger. Ripple has announced that tokenized gold is coming to the XRP ledger in 2024. It's very clear that the narrative of real-world asset tokenization is only going to get bigger. Precious metals and XRP are going to the stratosphere, and the rest of the world is still asleep at the wheel. An interesting website, WTF Happened in 1971, shows the importance of why you need a gold-backed reserve world currency. Maybe not gold-backed, but needs to be backed by some actual value. It shows you hundreds of economic charts, all showing since 1971, when the dollar was taken off the gold standard, how the economy has just been ruined. And it's very clear we need real assets behind our fiat dollars. You want the truth? Here's the truth. 1,700 NDAs. Ripple doesn't want you to know this. There's a reason there are 1,700 contracts between Ripple, major banks, financial institution companies, likely governments, and others. They aren't going to text you about XRP. They aren't going to email you. They won't tell you when it takes off. You just better be in before it happens. People are going to be lining up at $2 to buy XRP, at $5 to buy XRP, understanding what the true value is. And at this rate, you can get 2 XRP per $1. You will look back on these times with regret. This will not last. In waters above, the guy that predicted the Luna crash on the exact day, telling you XRP is about to unleash. The 5-point pattern you see here is repeating, and the XRP adoption narrative is going to reach its peak shortly. And a big reason, I believe, why, is because there's confirmation that real-world asset tokenization is coming to the XRP ledger. Take a listen.
For me, payments is really broad, so it's really anything that needs fast settlement, and the next wave of growth I really see in real-world asset tokenization. We have customers like HSBC, DBS, the biggest bank in Singapore, DZ Bank in Europe, and they're all entering the space to tokenize a variety of assets like money market funds, sometimes real estate, gold, other, and they all need fast payments and settlement, and that's where I think the next trillions of dollars of growth will come to the industry. For me,
Now, why do I keep bringing up this narrative of real-world asset tokenization? We started the video with Jim Willie talking about gold, a gold backing, the BRICS system, and pivoting away from SWIFT. How are we going to do this? Well, we already have tokenized gold being built on the XRP ledger. We have US Treasury bills being tokenized on the XRP ledger. You have companies like Zoth, who recently secured $4 million of funding to build DeFi infrastructure with real-world asset tokenization on the XRP ledger. Do you understand where this real-world asset tokenization will take us? Now, why is the XRP ledger not seeing the volume we expected? Why has the price not gone up as we expected? Where is the mass adoption? Where are the banks? They've not adopted XRP for payment yet, but despite the bank's slow speed, I do believe they will adopt it for real-world asset tokenization, and that could very well be larger than cross-border payments. Now, I want to play an interview between the Bearable Bull and Crypto Eddie talking about exactly this.
Really don't have quite the incentive to change. When I can think of so many examples of what I've heard. When Cassie Craddock is her name. She's been with Ripple. She's in the EU and she's been with Ripple for nearly 7 years. She said that, it was very difficult to even get the banks to return their phone calls when they first started selling. They were really selling a future hope that the bridge currency for XRP was going to be adopted by the banks. And she said the banks just really weren't that receptive. She said, but now those banks that, and she just said this about 2 weeks ago, she was at Money 2020 in Amsterdam when she gave this interview. She said that now those banks that didn't call them back in the past are now calling them because they're super interested in tokenization. So I think all that work that they did and the relationships that they built, even though maybe they didn't adopt the payments part of their story in the past, they did have they were able to establish relationships. And I think that you're going to see the tokenization for the banks become a really serious use case. And now that they have the custody arm by acquiring Medico, this is going to bring the company a lot of money. So they'll be able to make money on the reserves of the stablecoin. They're going to make money on the custody. They're going to make money on tokenization. I think the bottom line, the company itself, Ripple, is going to become very profitable very soon. And that's great, especially if you're a Ripple shareholder. But your original question is, why didn't the banks adopt that technology? They're slow and they're conservative, and they really didn't have the incentive to really change. They were passing on those costs onto the consumers, right? And so they also, some of them the largest banks had figured out how to make money on those Vostro accounts. And so, yeah, it's, it's okay though. I did see really interesting interview from Jeremy Allaire. Listen to this, Bull. There is, 100 trillion in market in terms of addressable market for the electronic money, which includes stablecoins. 1.5 trillion of that is in the utility of payments. And I just boom, wow, you're kidding me. So we've got another play because XRPL is really, really a wonderful technology for payments. If that is true, and of course with the launch of the real USD, both on the XRP ledger and Ethereum, but if we get a sizable share of that market of 1.5 trillion in the revenue that's thrown off of the payments of that $100 trillion addressable market, that's a lot of money, and that's a lot of.
It doesn't need to be all the money. If we just get a sliver of that 1.5 trillion, it will do wonders for the XRP ledger and the amount of volume. Truly unbelievable stuff. We are at a point where right now we have the regulatory clarity we need for XRP to thrive in this bull market, and we have where the money will come from. All the boxes are checked, and yet people will still question XRP. People like Charles Gasparino, who will stay fudding XRP for years to come. He's been fudding it for years for no reason, and he continues to drop the ball like he does here in this clip. He was on the right side of history supporting the lawsuit and has since changed opinions.
Ruling, because when you really pick it apart, what she's saying is, and this cannot be allowed to stand, and that's the problem that this ruling has. She said that institutional investors, people who have bought Ripple institutionally, there's a higher bar of disclosure for them than you do for retail people who would buy it in the secondary market. That's kind of like when you get
why would you say that's different? I mean, because are you saying you agree with that or you don't agree with that?
I don't. And I think the problem with her ruling, again, just talking about the ruling and why I think it's probably going to be overturned. This is a federal judge in the Southern District who works with other federal judges. And I guarantee Judge Torres, who's not an expert at securities law, heard from these other federal judges. Now, I'm not saying I agree with this, just hear me out here, where they said your ruling essentially establishes a two-tier system for disclosure. You set a precedent here. One tier, you're saying the institutional investors should have came in and registered with the SEC. Anybody that bought it institutionally needed to disclose that sale, those securities. But you're saying anybody that bought it under, even if Ripple, and by the way, the way a bond underwriting works or stock underwriting, it generally gets bought largely by institutions and then distributed to retail. As you know, there's a small portion on an IPO that goes directly to retail. But in any event, in the way the securities laws are worked is that they're all about disclosure to the retail investor. And she literally said the retail investor didn't need that registration, which would be the disclosure.
An absolute clown. If you guys made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Comment network in the comment section below. Don't take your 17 minutes for granted, so thank you for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it. Best way to support the channel is hitting the like button and commenting network if you're one of the loyal supporters. If you guys need a spot to get XRP or Flare, I recommend Uphold. It's sleek. It's where I get my XRP daily. And if you want 41 bucks for free, sign up with Webull. It's a stock trading platform. Deposit 1 penny, you're guaranteed 40 bucks in free stocks. You can find Webull and Uphold in the video description below. Until next time.